name is Åsta Louise Einstaland, and I am the head of the Center for Gender Equality at the university.
And I'm Claudia, and I'm an advisor at the Center for Gender and Equality.
So today we will give a short presentation about barriers when it comes to STEM sector, according to education and professional life. So you will start out, Claudia, to give a further introduction.
Yeah, so I think it's important to think about the bigger picture. So to achieve the Europe strategy goals for 2020, we have to integrate gender equality perspective, especially into important political areas as education, participation in the labor markets, payment, and living conditions. This will give us smart and sustainable growth.
I have a question here. Why is it important to have a gender perspective when it comes to STEM education and professional life?
Good question. So, in the coming years, Europe's knowledge economy and technological innovations will make STEM very valuable knowledge for careers in general. And that's why it's important to attract and recruit young people. But we should not only increase the amount of STEM students, we should also increase the diversity in the STEM programs and for the STEM students. And that's why gender equality is important.
Thank you. And I will also pinpoint that we need to have a special focus on diversity. So this will bring us further on. We will have a closer look at the next figure here. These three levels explain the barriers we meet when it comes to STEM education and professional life. Because these three levels refers to the individual level, that refers to the micro level. Then it's come to the meso level, that refers to the institutional feature, and then of course the education system. And the last one, the micro level, it refers to the feature of society, culture, and socialization process that are believed to contribute to gender segregation. As you can see in this figure, all these three levels do not give all the answers, but it serves to organize the various teams in research literature so that they appear transparent. So based on the micro, the meso, and the macro level, we will now review and present relevant research and possibility measures to improve gender balance in higher education. And I will also highlight that it's very difficult to explain the gender divided in education market, because it's a result of complex process. But we will try. So I will give you another figure here. As you can see, when it comes to the individual level, especially the social culture capital is of great importance when it comes to educational choices. But also on the other hand, the parents have also a lot to say, especially when it comes to the mother's education level. It has a great impact on your individual choices you make according to education. And also your friends. They also have a great impact. Do they choose traditional education, or do they, for example, go to some of the STEM educations? That's very important, what your friends are doing. And also the last one, when it comes to the labor market, what kind of options do I have in the future? Especially when it comes to the local market. We also know that we have to start very early when it comes to impact for young girls and recruitment to STEM education. So I want to ask Claudia, do you think girls lose interest in STEM when they get older?
So the interest in technology has proven to be quite high among girls until high school age, and the changing attitude can be explained by the fact that girls do not identify with technology as much as boys. In addition, the so-called technology window for young people at the age of 12 closes, which means that the interest in technology must be awakened before that. So several researchers finds that girls who have been encouraged by their parents to do STEM-related activities and studies are also more likely to not lose interest and choose a STEM-related study program and profession later in life.
Thank you. This brings us to the next level, the meso level, and especially focus on the education. Because when you look closer to this, it says, imagine a classroom. The teachers only reads mathematical stories where boys and men are always the protagonist, solving problems using mathematical knowledge and skills. Girls and women are secondary character lurking behind a tree. So if you are a girl, how would you see yourself in relation to mathematics now and in the future? I think this is a pretty good question. And this will bring us to another question I have to you. How can we turn this insight into action?
Yeah. This example you have here, Asta, is telling us how important encouragement is in the school, for example. So there was a study done by Dr. Shalini Kesar. He's a professor at the Southern Utah University, and he found that girls who were encouraged in a young age by teacher or parents were much more likely to enter STEM-related classes in high school. So that's important. The school as an arena is important. But also outside the school, we have seen that activities and clubs do also play an important role for girls, whether they will be engaged and encouraged to continue with the STEM in an older age. So as you can see here, the same professor, he found that girls who have this kind of offers in their community were also much more likely to enter STEM classes later in life. So yes, encouragement is important. And it's also a barrier. So because if girls do not have this encouragement, it's proven that they will not as likely as the girls who were encouraged enter the STEM-related studies later. Yeah. So I know that we're only going to speak about barriers today, but we want to give you a sneak peek for a 10 next year for solutions.
Yes.
This is one of the solutions we did in our community, our municipality, Kristiansand. We made a girl tech party for young girls. We started early. It's the 4th year now, this year. And their girls will be encouraged and they will meet the female mentors early. Role models is important. And it's fun. It's supposed to be fun. So that's interesting to look at the effects of this.
I think it was a very good example, and I was very pleased that we could show it.
Yeah.
So this will bring us on the next figure about the macro level. It says, fix the system, not the women. Maybe you have heard it before. We have to fix the women. They don't want to do some education in STEM. But I think it's the opposite. I think we have to fix the system, not the women. Because, as you see here, complex individual life situation meets institutional structures and social norms that create the guidelines for men and women experience choices. So I think this is very important to talk more about and what kind of life experience you have. And that's also referring back to the other figure we show about how your parents and your friends and also the labor market have an effect on your choices. And we will show you a new figure here.
Yes. So there are a lot of research done in this field, and there's also a lot of studies done on how to look at the individual levels. But, as you said, Asta, it is crucial to look at which structures are making the barriers for women and girls to enter STEM. So as you can see here, Mills is one of the researchers who emphasizes that we need to shift the attention of gender studies in engineering beyond strategies aimed at women to strategies that address gender culture in the company or the structures as a barrier instead of. And another approach done by Cornelius, who is also saying the same, but he also thinks that we have to include studies of men's career opportunities and pathways in the STEM subjects to understand women's situations. And this is important to avoid the attention on what women do or may do wrong, and instead analyze the processes that lead to senior positions for both women and men. So, in summary, we can say that gender perspectives on STEM subjects and women in male-dominated occupations show that gender balance and lack of gender equality in disciplines and leadership can make the organization structure the gender, despite presenting themselves as gender neutral. So this may cause men to find themselves to have easier access than women.
Yes, this brings us to the last PowerPoint here, and that's summing up. And we will pinpoint 3 things. We think it's very important to look at the formal structures, but also it's very important to look at the informal structures. For example, network, we know that's a very great importance, but also how you organize your work-life balance.
Yes.
That's also an important question. So hopefully you have understood a little bit what we have said, and we will say thank you, and hopefully we will see you next year in Athens. So have a fantastic day. Bye.
Bye.